Okay, so hello everyone. How are you all doing? Great. If I'm audible, just let me know in the chat section. If I'm not, just let me know that also. Uh, okay. I hope you are doing great, and yeah, I can see the chat section. So okay, before we start, I just want all of you to spam all your favorite emojis in the chat section. Hi Omraj, how are you doing? And yeah, just spam all your favorite emojis in the chat section. And yeah, we will be starting this session about AR, okay, about Flutter. So the topic is building an AR application using Flutter. So we have Himanshu with us. I'll be inviting him in a few minutes. But before that, I have a few updates to just tell you. Okay. Yeah. So the first thing is for those who don't know about Hacking Heist 2.0. So Hacking Heist 2.0 is a 36-hour virtual hackathon that's going to be organized on in the next month. The dates are 24th to 26th of June, and our aim is to bring in more and more beginner hackers for our hackathon so that they could develop their skills in the development field, and they could enjoy the whole process of this hackathon. So that's that. A few updates about Hacking Heist 2.0. We have hit the mark of 820 registrations. And also, talking about Discord, we are going to cross 2,000 Discord members. We are currently in 1997 around. So, yeah, we are going to hit that mark very soon. So we are hoping for that, and I'm very excited for today's session specifically because I too a Flutter developer, and I've never worked on an AR. I've never built an AR application, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, talking about registrations part, one more thing that is happening during this time is a giveaway. Okay, so let me just bring up a banner here. Uh, Here it is. If you go on Twitter and like search for Hacking Heist, in the pinned section, in the pinned tweet, you will see a giveaway going on. It's a gaming mouse and a gaming pad giveaway. So just check it out. And on crossing 850 registrations, we are going to give away that thing. And apart from that, let me just bring up another banner. Um, Here it is. So while you are attending this session, just take a screenshot in between this session and just tweet it. Okay, just tweet it on Twitter and tell your learnings about this session. Okay, and tag Hacking Heist and use hashtags Hacking Heist, and yeah, that's all you have to do. And we'll be choosing one of you for the giveaway for today. Okay, that's all for from my side. Now I'll just quickly invite Himanshu to the screen. Okay, but before that, too, I want all of you to just give a round of applause for him. Just give a clapping emojis in the chat section. Okay, just do that first, and then I will invite him for the on the screen. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So hello, Himanshu. So how are you
Hello,
doing?
hello,
Are
hello.
you
Thank you for the warm welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, we can't hear the round of applause in the virtual. So, yeah, that's
No
it.
issues, no issues.
So,
Yeah.
how are you doing,
Thank you.
Himanshu?
I'm doing good. Quite hot here, but yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know about me, but in one of my previous hackathons, you mentored me. Like, I was building a project in Flutter.
Oh,
I don't know the name of that hackathon, so you helped me like build that project. So,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you. And I hope I help you out somehow.
So you're definitely going to help a lot of students today also. So I'm also looking for this session because I've never like developed an AR app before. So I'm definitely looking for that. So yeah, and if you can just
So
present your screen, I will bring it up.
perfect, perfect. Then yeah, I'll present my screen in a few minutes. I'll just
Yeah.
go through it because this is a AR application and we are doing the event virtually. So unfortunately, I cannot Like actually, it cannot run the application on a virtual event. However, I'll make sure that you are able to do that in your local device. So first thing, let me introduce myself quickly. So I'm a software engineer at Vimo. I'm a final year student. Will be completing my bachelor's in next month or so. So I've been using Flutter and Dart since 2019, and since then I'm loving it. And apart from all this, I'm one of the organizers of Flutter India community and one of the co-founders of Flutter Chandigarh community. I'm a technical writer as well. So that's a quick intro. So let's start. So, what is an AR? What is AR? What do you understand by AR? If someone knows it, please make sure to add it in the comment section. In the meantime, I'll start. So, what does augmented reality basically do? So, augmented reality add data, or you can say visuals, to your experience or on your camera. So, a popular example includes Instagram filters, Snapchat filters, and maps and all. So what does AR allows? So AR allow users to place virtual objects in real world, like adding a hat or something, and then interact with them. And AR, and I hope, and I think so, AR app will be, and I think already are especially popular in gaming section, like AR headset, like what are the devices? Microsoft HoloLens and Google Glass, providing real gaming experience, and also in shopping and industrial sectors, AR is booming. So maybe one of you can build an application uh, by which I can just try out random hats and on my face. It will be much helpful because I definitely looking for a hat or something in the upcoming hate. I'll be traveling to Delhi and all. So if you can build a augmented reality application in which I can try random hats, just ping me anytime. So what we'll be doing now? So first of all. We have two kind of devices, right? Android devices and iOS device. So we'll be learning about what is AR core and what is AR kit. Then then we'll pursue. Then we'll continue with AR Flutter plugin, which is basically a combination of AR core and AR kit. I'll be explaining that in few minutes. And later on, how can we utilize this plugin? So let's start with AR core. So currently we'll just discuss what is AR core. So, also a note: if you are, you can say if you have some prior knowledge to Flutter, you're more than welcome. So, more than welcome. If in case you are new to Flutter, so I would recommend you go through documentation before ahead because this needs some intermediate knowledge of Flutter. So let's start. So what is AR Core? So AR Core is Google's you can say SDK or platform that enables your phone to sense its environment and understand the world. Basically, you can interact with information and AR Core is provided among a lot of APIs, not in the older devices. So it is provided across Android and iOS as well. Some on some versions. So if you want to know what are the supported devices, I can share a link with you guys in the. Okay, I think the organizer will share the link with you. So basically, as I said, it's a Google platform that enables your phone to sense the environment and do the thing. So it supports iOS 11 or later, and on the Android device, it is running on Android 7.0 or newer. So let's go with the official documentation that states that like AR Core is doing two things: tracking the position of the mobile devices as it moves. For example, if you are looking into a particular corner, your object or virtual object is placed over there. But if you zoom out or change your camera position, that particular object will stay at its place. So that's one of the fundamental, and that's how it understand and build up a real world around your camera. So that's how it works. So if you're looking for some of the example like some of the example application that uses AR core, specifically AR core, then I'll share another link for you to read from Android Central. So so, so some of these example apply AR core on viewing dimensions. By dimension, I mean, let's say IKEA. For IKEA, if you want to check whether your room can have this table of this width or height, then that is a good example of AR core. Now let's proceed with ARKit. So ARCore was platform provided by Google for you folks. However, what is ARKit? So ARKit is the tool set of tools provided by Apple for the iOS environment. So anyone using Apple's A9 or later, like iPhone 6s, 7, SE, 8, and X, or iPad 27 or iPad Pro, on iOS 11.0 or later, can use ARKit. For some features, you might need a iOS 12, the latest one as well. Sorry, iOS 12 or latest one as well. So if you're looking for ARKit example, the best example will be the I think, yeah, the Swift Playground. So let me find the link of it. So what is Swift Playground? So if you are looking to learn Swift, then Swift Playground can be helpful because it makes the learning of Swift make more fun using AR. So if you are trying Swift in near future, you can use Playground, which already have ARKit inbuilt. So, so ARKit shares many similarities with ARCore, with the key difference being that with ARKit we have exclusive support from Apple side, nicely with CNKit or SpideKit. So you can learn more about it in future. But the main thing is ARKit and ARCore on majority are similar. So let's get started. So let me add my screen somehow. Very StreamYard. Yep. Okay. So basically, this is a application. This is a starter application. I hope it is visible to you guys. I'll wait for the organizers to. Okay. Yeah. It's. I think it's visible now. Correct. Correct. Yeah. It looks good. Let me zoom in a little so that you will be. Okay. I think this is much helpful. Correct. So what is this? What is so? This is a ER core example repository or project that I created while exploring AR. And this is basically a starter. So in this branch, this is a starter application which doesn't have anything, which doesn't have any AR logic or AR view or anything. So we'll be starting from the very beginning. I'll be coding through it, but we cannot run it as I mentioned. It's a virtual event, unfortunately. If it was a real event, I would have shown you the AR core view in the actual device itself, because the AR view is dependent upon camera, and camera cannot be run as expected on emulator or simulator. So let's proceed. So what is the best thing? So let me go through the folder structure. So as you can see, lib is our code base. Lib is our single code base which handles multiple platform views and features. So first thing is main.dart. As you know, main.dart is our root of our application, and via which we navigate through multiple screen and do our thing. Next thing is home view. So what is home view? Home view is basically what yeah, home view is basically a screen in which we have a button which is navigating to a different screen, which is local and web object. So this is the screen. So this is the main screen in which we will have an AR view here, not here. So here instead of container, we'll have an AR view. Then later on, we have some buttons which will be used to fetch some objects, some 3D objects or graphical objects, and we'll be talking about them in near future. So first of all, what is AR Flutter plugin? So let me open it up. Let me grab the URL for you guys so that you can easily go through it. I'll be sharing this with the organizers. So yeah. So what is AR Flutter plugin? So AR Flutter plugin, as the name suggests, it provides AR abilities to your application. However, it supports both AR Core and AR Kit, which is a good thing because before this plugin we have separate plugins, namely for ARCore and ARKit, and now this plugin is bringing both of them together. So it's an advantage. So obviously it's an advantage if you are looking forward to build your application with AR features. It will be done in both Android and iOS. So if you want to know about the architecture, how it actually works, so the link that I provided have the architecture to the very bottom of the screen. Yeah. So basically, on the architecture side, both of them are using the separate respective APIs. By respective, I mean on Android side, the plugin is using AR Core, and on the iOS side, the plugin is using AR Kit. And at the very end, both of them are doing our work. So this is the introduction about AR Filter plugin. Now let's set it up. So to set it up, first of all, you need to copy the AR plugin plugin, or just go to pub.yaml if you're on latest Flutter version. So go to your pub.yaml. In the dependencies, I just mentioned ar underscore Flutter underscore plugin. So it should automatically recommend me if it is working fine. If not, then we can just provide this. Cool. Now let's save. So this in case after this, if you are running your application, this will throw an error because there is some dependency, or you need to do some configuration. By configuration, I mean you need to change your minimum SDK version on which this particular supports the feature, which I told you earlier. The constraints of ARCore and ARKit, on which Android devices or which Android version or iOS version it works. So first thing is you need to change the minimum SDK version. So currently, if you go here, if you are brand new to Flutter, so this is the minimum SDK version in which you have to override this default version. So this default version is coming from the plugin that is installed in your local or in your device. So so this plugin supports minimum SDK version of 24. So either you can change the minimum SDK version in your installed SDK directly in the Flutter SDK, which is installed locally, or you can hard code it from here. Like for example, you just mentioned 24, or you can do what, or you can utilize the local property. So here you are defining Flutter minimum SDK version, and then you can use it here using local properties, something like this, local properties or get property flutter.sd minimum SDK version. Something like this, you can do it here. So I would not recommend you to change the minimum target or any SDK version in your Flutter SDK download locally at all, because the future projects that you'll build will have these numbers or these versions on default. So I would not recommend you do that. I either hard code it or use your local properties if you don't like hard coded data like me. So next thing is iOS configuration. So there is no version limitation or something like this. However, there is some permission issue. So this plugin on default handles the permissions. Okay, first of all, let me know if I'm talking too quickly or if I'm proceeding too fastly, right? So I'll stop and answer your questions. So just let me know. So next thing is so we did some minimum configuration as recommended by the plugin by changing the minimum SDK version in the Android side. However, we might face some challenges in iOS side by which is basically permission issue, like camera enabling issue and everything. So this plugin on default handles all the permission issues. However, if you're facing this, you need to do some port file changes in your basically your portfolio changes. I'm not a iOS developer myself because, as you can see, I don't own Xcode. However, I'll be sharing a blog at the very bottom of this session, by which you can do the iOS configuration as well. So next thing is usage or some APIs of AR Flutter plugin. So I'll just mention some terms which will be used in next 2-3 minutes. First of them is AR view. So as I told you, in the local web object screen, instead of this container, we'll be having a AR view. By AR view, it means we will be opening the camera and initializing the basic object, or the defining the point or the screen point on which our initial object will be rendered. That's AR view. Next, we have session manager. So in case we have some parameters, events, or we want to do some session configuration, then that manager or API will be used. Further, we'll be using object manager. Basically, by object, I mean whatever that is being displayed in the UI. If you want to manage something, that API will be your go-to person. Next thing is anchor manager. We'll be talking about that later on, that because anchor are something which is considered the usage of AR. And next we have location manager. As the name suggests, we'll be handling location and all. Now let's proceed. First of all, the basic example or usage I'll be considering for this session is using local graphical objects, like some image present in your local, and then getting the objects from net or via net, right? So basic one is using the local one. So first of all, in if I mention something local, I need those graphical content in locally. So here, we have assets folder in which we have something called a chicken directory which contains some gltf file, and we have some triangle png or something, right? The gltf file. So what is gltf and what are these files? So we have two type of, you can say, graphical images or graphical objects that will be used in AR. One is GLTF, one is GLB. So what is the difference? So by GLTF, I mean, I need to read the full form of it as well. Graphical language transmission format. So this is the format which is used in all the 3D objects or screen that you want to have in your application. So what is .gltf? So .gltf store the graphical content, and .glb also store the graphical content, but the storage format is different. GLTF stores it in JSON or ASCII format, and GLB stores it in the binary format. So that's the key difference between GLB and GLTF type files, and both of them are graphical files which are used to add your 3D objects in screen. So next thing, next thing is, first of all, we have to define our session, or you can say our object managers, and then we have to initialize the basic object, basic node. So as you can see, I'll go through the code base again. In the main.dart, we don't have anything. We are just defining a theme. Next thing, we have my home page, which is basically which basically navigating us via elevated button to this local and web project. And in the local web project, we have some pre-built UI. In the pre-built UI, you can see an app bar and column which have some clip rect, but just basically changes your border or changes the size of your container or whatever is in the child property. Then in the row, we have the two buttons. These two buttons are meant for the usage that I told you, fetching the object from local and downloading the object from web and using it. So we don't have anything. We just installed the plugin. We changed the minimum SDK version. Now we have to do the thing. So first thing is creating an AR view. So first thing is I'll be changing this container because it's black screen only. I'll be using AR view. As you can see, we are already getting some recommendations, and we have AR view. Let's see what is the error. So the error is the property on AR view creator is waiting for a callback, but this callback is not yet created at all. So we'll be creating the callback. So first thing is, let's go back. Let's go outside the overridden build method and build our own method. So it will be a void. And what was the name? I forgot the name. On AR view created. So this is a callback which will be used on your on ARV created event in your predefined API. So in before proceeding, let me know if you have any question or anything at all. Right? So I'll be proceeding. Okay, I'll hold for a minute. If let me see the chat. Okay. Okay, I don't see any questions. So let's proceed. So the next thing is, on ARV created, what do we need? So first thing is we need to initialize a session, and then in the session we'll be defining something. By session I mean whenever you're opening this particular screen, the ARV will start, and when the ARV start, the session manager will be handling all the things. By all the things I mean the tabs, some transformation, or the default image that will be displayed when you open the application or this particular screen. So first thing is, for this we need, as I mentioned, we need a session manager, and for session manager we need a object for it, or you can say manager, literally a manager for it. So first of all, we will define some managers which will be initialized later. So by later I mean we'll be using late keyword with AR session manager. I will mention AR session manager. Next thing, we have AR object manager. So AR object manager is it will be used when we are tapping this object to fetch the respective graphical image via locally or via remote. So AR object manager, then AR object manager. Cool. Now next thing, everything as I told you in the AR view is a node, and for this we need a initial variable as well, because we'll be storing that graphical object in that particular node. So that will be a that will be what I think we should have a that can be null as well. So on default it will be null, but yeah, let's proceed with creating a AR node, which the name will be local object. Correct. And now it is throwing an error because it is not initialized. So either make it late or either use the question mark to make it nullable. So why nullable? Because in on single tap I'll display this, and on the second tap on the same button I'll remove that object. That's why I'll be using the null. I'll be using the null value of this particular node to check whether that thing is null or not. Same for the web one. That local object was meant for graphical object present in local in our assets directory, and this one web object will be used to on the object that is being fetched via remote. So now we have our managers and object manager. So on default, a session manager will present something on default. So what is the thing that it will display you on default? So first thing is now we have to pass some arguments are basically the object as well. This new object will initialize these local objects. So let me just use AR session manager and session manager, and then AR object manager. So now we have to initialize our local manager. So this dot session manager, sorry, this dot AR session manager will be this AR session manager. So we are just defining our objects or variables and AR object managers. Now, so this doesn't display anything. This doesn't help us at all. At all. The main thing we need is a default image. A camera will be popped up. Now, next thing will be some default image that will identify or notify us whether AR view is started or just a normal camera is opening up. So that's where our AR session manager will come. So in the AR session manager, we need to initialize it. So on initialize, we'll be doing something further. So let me hold here and let's go through this again. So first thing is we are defining both AR session manager and AR object manager. And next thing is we are using AR session manager to AR session managers on initialize method to initialize something whenever the AR view is starting, or we want to initialize a particular image or object on default whenever AR view is initiated. So that's why AR session manager is required. So this on initialize have some properties. If you scroll over this, show animated guide, feature points, planes, world origin, handle tabs, rotation, everything. I'll explain a little bit of them. So let's use a little one of like some properties of them. So that's for this. So show feature points. I will set it to false. I'll tell you why. And then show planes. We can set it for true because we want to see the planes in the camera. What is the plane it is looking forward or learning about in the environment. And if you want to have custom texture on the plane, then we have custom plane texture. So here you can have any random image, So in my case, I had triangle.png, right? So first of all, I think, okay, it's already added. So if I want to use triangle.png, I'll just provide the path. Or no, not the path. I have already added the path, right? Then I'll just provide the name. So triangle.png. .png. So whenever your AR view is initializing, this will look forward to this image to display the texture. Next thing is show world origin. I'll set it to false or true. Yeah, let's go with true. This will display all the origin points that it is detecting to. And next thing is handle tabs. So if you want to handle tabs or some on tap, you want to do something, you can do something, but we are not doing it. So these are some of the properties that you can use. On default, you can see all of them are set to false with some properties set to true. So in my bad. Now, next thing, let's go back. Okay, this on AR we created. So void function can be sent to a parameter type void Function session manager. Okay, whoa, wait. Void function. Oh, it is okay. It is looking for anchor manager and location manager as well. So we can define those as well. So AR and AR anchor manager, and with base manager, and then last one was location manager. I think, yeah, AR location manager. Now I think there is no error. So yeah, so this particular callback passes these many arguments, and it expects to pass these many arguments on default as well. But as you can see, we will be using session manager and object manager only, because anchor manager and location manager is not in the current usage for this purpose, for this session. So let's proceed. So after session manager, this will create a default view. Now we have to create our object as well. So we have to initialize our AR object manager as well, but without anything. We can just use on initialize, and that's it. So um, our objects are initialized, and AR view is created. So that's how your AR view is here. So let me go through this again. Let me go through this method again. First thing is we are defining session manager, like basically our managers. Second thing is we are using on initialize method from session manager to set session properties. By properties, I mean feature points. So what are these settings? So these settings um, uh, are basically used to visualize something. Like feature points are used to display of small white dots. If you go close enough to an object with this session manager, if you set it to true, you will start you will start reading small dots or small white dots on any texture it is recognizing and learning about. And same for the planes, it will start visualizing the planes and start visualizing the world origin from which point it is starting to learn the environment. And then last one is handle tabs in case you want to do something custom, right? So this is how our AR session manager AR view looks like. But on default, as I said, I cannot use the sim emulator, but I have some images prepared for you guys. So let me open the AR view. Where is the video? Yep. So let's proceed. Okay, so this is how our home looks like. As I said, a button which will navigate to a different screen, and when we tap on it, this is how your screen looks like. So on default, on the center, it will be a container, as I said in the starter application with the blank screen, and we have some buttons to fetch the graphical object. Next thing is the AR session view is automatically created. So as I used AR view, it's starting to recognize something. So it is talking to me like to change the view so that origin is set. So if I'm starting here, so you can see. So that is one of the key features of AR. So if I go back and wait for it, see the timing or see the location of that particular, you can say, world origin to originate. So let's wait, and here. So now the world origin is this point. And if I move out, if I keep changing the phone, you can see the world origin is staying at the same place, right? It is at the same place. So that's how your AR session or AR view on default looks like. So that's how this particular thing looks like. Next thing is if you want to add something on the world origin on that particular 000. If you know mathematics, you know mathematics. So on that particular 000, if you want to add something over it, then you'll be using these two methods that I'll be creating. But before that, one trick or one thing that I mentioned, if you are a, you can say a Marvel fan similar to me, you can have the Doctor Strange some diagram or circle here, and you can visualize it in your local plane or anything if you are a fan of Doctor Strange or Marvel. Now let's proceed with our basically the buttons. So So AR view is created. Next thing is fetching the object from local. By local, I mean fetching the chicken 01. Where is this? Where is it? Chicken 01 GLTF. the sky format file containing all the graphical model and schemas of that chicken. So first thing is we'll be creating an object for it, and that object will be on local object initialize or on local object button pressed. So another button void on local button pressed will do something to us, and it will start defining the or initializing the AR node locally. So first thing is, first of all, we will be defining a new node using AR node, and but this time we'll be defining the type and the URI. The URI means the assets, the graphical file path by assets, and type means what kind of file it is. So is it a local file, web file? I'll be talking about this. So this AR Flutter plugin already provides us with the enum. So I'll be using AR node type. Or no, okay, not this node type, or was it a so I guess it was node type only. Node, node type. So as you can see, we have four kind of types. One of them is file system app folder GLB, file system app folder GLTF, local GLTF, and web GLB. So what is the difference here? So I'll be talking about local GLTF and web GLB first. So local GLTF means you have a local GLTF file in your assets, and then you are using it, or then you are using this particular type. If you're using something in your assets, which is basically adding on the size of your application, the release application. Next thing is WebGLB. What is WebGLB here? So WebGLB is the graphical image or graphical object with .glb or binary format, which is coming from web. So if you want to fetch something from web, you'll be using WebGLB. And now, what is this file system app folder file GLB file system app folder GLTF? So basically, these are the absolute path in case you want to have some image downloaded. By downloaded, I mean, okay, let's forget about the meaning. Let's visualize it. So yeah, let's say you are using Snapchat, and if you want to use a filter, you have to download it. I don't use it much, but I think so. If you want to use a filter, you have to download it. So whenever you go to a store in such application, and you're clicking on a particular object, it will start downloading that object in your absolute path or in your Android directory itself. So what is the difference between it? So this is basically downloading in your Android folder. Local is something which is inside your app bundle. So that's how it is. File system app folder will store the object or will fetch the object from the absolute path of your application. So that's how it is. If you have any questions till now, let me know. Okay, let me proceed. So I'm using not type. Which type? It will be local GLTF2. Now, what will be the URI? URI will be your this will be, you can say, relative, not relative. This will be absolute as well, but from your assets only. So you'll go in the this. Now I'll just use this. I'll go back, paste it here. Then the path will be, where is the path? Where is the path? If I can copy the path, maybe where is open copy, not copy path, copy relative. Let's see. So this is the relative path. So okay, but this uses forward slash. Okay. So this is your default AR node. So with this, your node is defined. Now you can add this in your local object that we defined earlier. So how can we do that? So for thing, you can just override it, like using the local object itself. Local object is equals to new node. That's it. Your object is defined. So on tapping, a new node is defined, and your local object now is initialized. So as I mentioned, we'll be doing tap and tap. So on a single tap, it will be added. On a second tap, it will be removed. So how can we achieve that? You can use a Boolean flag, or you can just use the local object as well. So on the single tap, this method will be invoked again. Now we'll be checking whether this object already exists, or will this does this object contain some data or not. So for that we'll be using if. Alright, if your local object is if your local object is not null because it is defined now, then you will do what? Then you will set your local object as null. Okay. Else you will be doing what? Else you will be defining it. And yeah. So on first tab, your local object is obviously null. It will define and set the local object. On the second tab, it is checking whether the local object is null or not. It is not null. Then local object will be null. However, it is not yet removed from the session because yeah, I forgot one thing. I initialized the object. I forgot to add it in the session. Yeah, that's one of the crucial thing. So the object is initialized here, but it is not yet added in your screen. So how can you do that? So you'll be using AR session manager, AR session manager dot what? I guess it was push or add node. Oh, okay. I think it's a synchronous thing. Then I'll be using await dot add node, and here I'll have the new node, not why. Okay, add node is from object. Yep. I forgot. That's a silly mistake. So as I told you, AI session manager only defines your features, planes, or you can say the world around your origin. That basically the 000. And here object manager handles everything to add on the session, on the existing session. Here object manager will be used to add something. So after defining the node, now with after initializing a local object, now you're adding the new node itself on the existing session. So that's how you can do, or you can just do local object. You can have further condition as well. Okay, I think it is AR node can't be assigned to that, so it is looking for AR node. Yep. So new node, and later you can use this or save it in a maybe a variable. Did what? Did add local node is does okay? Did added? If so, if added. Okay. If in case the local object not okay true and false, I want true and false. So this basically returns, if you hover over it, it basically returns boolean, so of future type. So if you want to add something, it will return us the true or false. So if did local node, so if it is true, okay, not like this will be a like yeah, if it is true, then do what? Then new node, else wait. Okay, instead of initializing the local object like this, we can initialize it like that as well. So instead of this, yeah, if it is like this, then define local object as new object, else local object will be null. So what did we do here? So here we did one thing. Basically, on first tab we are checking whether local object is initialized. On the first tab, obviously it will not be initialized. We went for the else condition. Now we created a new node with the local graphical image or object. Next thing we checked did add local, whether this object or whether this new node is attached on the current session using the object manager. If so, then we are defining the local object with the new node. Else we are setting the local object to null, or letting it be to be null. And now when you click on the button again, this will check whether local object is not null, which is true in this case. And now local object is null. However, your session still has that particular object over the origin. So you need to remove that thing as well. So for this, you'll be using AR object manager to manage all the nodes present in a session. To you can say remove the node, and node will be local object, not local object, because it is now defined. So we are using asterisk to define. It is always coming as defined after this if condition. So that's how it is done on locally. So now we need to utilize this event. So I'll go in here and then just, and we are good. Now, how does it actually work? So let me show you the view. I hope you're able to understand it. I hope you're able to grasp all the information. So okay, let's go again. It was quite fast. So this is your home page. So this video will show you from the very beginning what happened actually. Suppose this what happened. So as I told you, this plugin on default handles the permission. So you can see below in the below in which we have the we had the clip r rect yeah because okay sorry in below we have the clip r rect and in which we have AR view. So if you see the video again, you can see the camera text C is quite you can say cut from the top left. Why so? Because I have provided a border radius for clip r rect, and AR Flutter plugin is on default adding a view in case your permissions are not enabled or not granted. So post this when you allow while using this application or whenever, then it will start creating the AR view. Wait for it now. Now it's starting. Okay. Now your world origin is being set. Yeah, the world origin is set. Now if you zoom out, and now I'll be pressing on the local and remove local object. On single tap, it will add the object. On a second tap, it will remove the object. So when I click on this object, yeah, now you can see the chicken on the world origin. So as you can see, the chicken, the beautiful chicken, and on the second tap, it will be removed, as you can see. So everything happened over the existing session or existing view. So that's how it works. Now for the web case, we'll be doing the same. Just copy the whole method, and you can just change this with on web object button pressed. In this case, local object will be changed with web object, and new node will be new node. This local will be moved to web GLB, and this particular path will be changed with the internet file. So for the internet file, I will provide you the I'll copy the URLs, and now I'll paste it here. So if you go to this repository, you can see all kind of you can say graphical objects for you to utilize and use it. So for the same thing, what you're doing on pressing this button, on pressing this button via this, first of all, we are checking whether web object is initialized or whether a web object is not null. As you can see, it is null on default whenever you're going to the scheme. And on the first click, it will skip the if condition, go to the else condition. In the else condition, we are defining the AR node. We'll be talking about AR node with all the properties like rotation, scale, what is these things. And then you're providing the minimal thing, which is type, and the URI. URI is the location of the graphical object. Next thing, we are using the did add local node, just a flag to check whether object manager added this node or not. Post adding this node, we'll check whether it is added. If it is added, then we'll define web object with new node. Else we will set web object to null. And on the second click, web object will not stay null, and your object manager will remove the web object, and object will be null again. So that's how it is working. So let's do what? Let's see another video on this particular part. So if I go to where's the web one, yeah, remote object, yeah, this one. Now let's see. So on default, the first screen is this. Second screen will be something like this. Your world point is initialized, world origin initialized. So this is your world origin. Now, as you can see in the code, as I wrote it down, we are using the folks. So our literal folks or a beautiful folks will be rendered. Let's wait for it. Now, if I zooming out, you can see the world origin is staying at that point, and however, that size is varying with respect to the environment. Now I'm going far, and now I'll be tapping on this, and you can see the fox. You can see it is right above me, and if I tap on the remove of web object again, it will be gone. So that's how it works. That's how your web object works. So this is the basic usage that you can try with this. Further, let's talk about AR node and what can you do more. So what is AR node? So if you hover over this, as you can see, AR node have lot of things like name, position, scale, rotation. So what is it? What is it defining? So this is basically used to orient or change the location or transform your object or maybe do some animation in case you require it using these properties. So if you want your fox to be tilted, if you want your duck or chicken to be tilted or transformed or scalable or rotatable, then you will be using these many properties. Okay, so this is another thing. Next thing will be talking about what? Talking about the anchors. So before proceeding to anchors or anything, let me know if you have any question or anything. No questions? Shall I proceed? I think I should. So let's proceed. So we have talked about world origins, anchors, and what is all these things. So what is basically anchors? So if you need something, if you want to track the location of your object, where is it, and a location of 3D object, you need to define an anchor. And so what does anchor? What is this anchor? So anchor basically describes the position, feature points, and you can say with respect to the real world, and simply let you place your 3D object. So basically, anchor is the thing which recognize the environment and let you place your virtual objects over it. So what is this? What is this feature point? As I told you, feature point are you can say unique or some unique location that your camera is recognizing if you have enabled it, and using the feature points, it defines the world origin and start adding objects. So that's how it is done. Okay, and I forgot to do one thing. On the very end, use the dispose event of your app lifecycle to let go of the resources and let go of the resources being occupied with your session managers. So this is the conclusion. So what can you do next? What can you do next? So first of all, I'll be sharing the repository link. Let me find it somehow. Where is it? Here it is. I'll be sharing the master application. Yep. So let's go back. Where's StreamYard? So this is the project from which you can go back to the code base in case you didn't learn or didn't understand something, right? I'll be sharing you can say a blog as well, which will be utilized for you. Or just wait for me. Let me find the link for it. Okay, I think I lost it somehow. Okay, just wait. And then I'll be concluding everything, and I'll be telling you what can you do more in the next session. So okay. So here's a full-fledged tutorial in case you need it or if you want to read through it. So what will be the thing that you will be doing next? So in this session you learned what how to create a basic AR application using AR Flutter plugin in Flutter. And for the next step, you can utilize what you can start. As I said, the property you can start utilizing the property to rotate, transform your 3D objects or using gestures, handle taps, or maybe create a virtual game, or as I said, maybe create a application to check out hats on your face and something like this. or you can start using, or maybe start storing it in cloud and fetching it, or using Google Anchor API, Cloud Anchor API, in case you want to utilize it. So I hope you understood this. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, anything at all. I think no more questions. Yeah, you're on mute, I think.
Okay, yeah. Now it's. Am I audible now?
Correct.
Great. So I don't think we have any questions right now. So I was also trying to do the AR, building the AR app. So like I did half the way, but then I like doing some other works. So if they have any other questions, like how they can approach you apart from like, this
Yeah,
session.
you can reach me via Twitter. I mentioned my Twitter handle here. If you want to reach out to me via LinkedIn. You can just look for Himanshu Sharma 89. That's my username. Apart from all this, if you are old, if you want to use the old way, just email me at contact at that himanshushharma.com. I'll be pasting this. I'll be pasting my socials here. Just a minute. That's my Twitter, and that's my LinkedIn. In case you want to connect with me on LinkedIn. And in case you want, like, in case you want to mail me for anything, can reach out to me here. So these are my point of contact. In case you have any question, anything regarding building a basic AR application, just let me know.
Great, awesome. So Himanshu have shared all the social links and as well as the email. So if you have got any doubt during this session, after this session, just go ahead and ping him up, and he will answer all your doubts. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Himanshu. That was a great session. That was very insightful, and yeah, and okay, for all of those who are here, I just want you all just take a screenshot of if you haven't taken till now, just take a screenshot of
Yeah,
this session right now, and just post it on Twitter and tag Himanshu, tag Hacking Heist, and yeah, that's all you have to do. And we'll be picking any one of you, and we'll be going to give him a exclusive T-shirt from Hacking Heist. So yeah, just do that, and yeah. So thank you, Manchu, for joining us, and I will looking
thank you for
forward to
having me.
stay connected with you.
Correct. Have an amazing hackathon, and do win the gaming mouse and pad.
Surely. So yeah. Okay. So a few more things that I want to let you know. Um, So yeah, about the giveaway part, you just have to take a screenshot. If you haven't taken it, you can just go back in the live stream and take it and tweet it. Now after that, I'll be sharing a feedback form with you. Just a second, I'm just putting it up on the screen. Okay, here it is. So just go ahead and fill up this feedback form, and yeah, let me share this on the chat section also. Here it is. Just go ahead and fill up the feedback form, and yeah, there are more upcoming events that are going to happen. Just head over to the YouTube channel. You can see the in action name. Just click on it, and you will be see all the upcoming events that's are going to happen. So yeah, and if you haven't registered till now, just do register for the event, and yeah, that's all from my side. Okay, so it's 1 hour or also like it's already 1 and 4 minutes. That's too much. So yeah, I don't think any of you have any doubts. So have a great day. Bye bye.